Hello, everyone. Welcome to a self-described broken game from Free Lunch Design. Yes, Free Lunch Design proudly presents Frog Hunt. This is a game which is about, well, according to the title, you might think that it's about hunting frogs. It's kind of not, though. Not exactly. Well, we'll see. Anyway. I just wanted to make another talking video, and I really didn't want to make another talking video. I'm sorry, I'm kind of tired of making these videos, and I think other people are as well. I kind of wanted to just get back into, playing games, but let's go ahead and play a game while I talk about stuff and things. So this is Frog Hunt, and there's a note on the right that says, "Dear Pete, catch as many frogs as possible before the time runs out." And the note is from our Uncle Ron. And we are Pete, that bald guy on the left. I'm assuming he's a kid. I'm assuming he's like a child. And anyway, let's go ahead and play. So here we are. We're playing Frog Hunt. And you want to catch the frogs. 100 points. Yes, I got 100 points. Oh, I got another 100 points. That's nice. And as we go about our endeavor of catching frogs, these blue elephants will occasionally come to visit us, and they will leave those brown patches on the ground. And you want to avoid touching those brown patches because for some reason it hurts you. I'm not sure why it hurts you. Maybe it's radioactive. Maybe the elephants leave some kind of radioactive waste in their midst. But this is pretty much the game. And yeah, you can't actually catch the frogs. You might have noticed the frogs kind of run away from you, but even if you back them into a corner and manage to actually touch them, you don't actually ever catch them. So, oh, and sometimes you see a brown frog like that one up there instead of these green frogs. And that's it. This has been Frog Hunt. And every now and then that guy gives you 100 points. Or, well, not 100 points, but 100 points. And that's really it. 100 points. And that's really it. That's really the whole game. So you can see it's a pretty simple game. And the game ends when you spend too much time on these brown patches, which eventually kills you. Which will probably happen after a while because there are so many of these elephants coming around. But anyway, this is a good game for me to talk over since there's really not a lot to it. So, let me go ahead and just see how long I can survive on this one patch here. So far I'm doing pretty well because these elephants aren't actually coming to where I am, but I assume that that's probably going to stop being the case eventually. 100 points! I love that old guy. Sometimes in real life, when I'm speaking in real life and something good happens, I'll just suddenly say, 100 points! And nobody will know what I'm referencing because most people in the world have not played this game. Which is unfortunate. I think that most people should play this game because it's such a great game. Wow, I'm really surviving for a long time here. Okay, I'll go ahead and talk about some stuff and things. So, I did want to apologize for the delay. I know it's been a few months since I made my last real oh, here we go. Now I'm going to die because I got stuck on that brown territory. So, there we go. That's the game. This has been Frog Hunt. And I'll go ahead and keep playing while I'm talking, just so that we have something to watch. So like I said, yeah, I apologize for the delay. I did want to get back into making videos sooner, but there have been a few things going on. Those of you who watch my other channel, Late Blight 2, know that I moved to Germany, specifically Munich in Germany, or München as it's called. Because I got a job here, and so that took a while because, moving always takes a while, and I had to get used to the new job and get settled into the new apartment and all that, and get internet service and stuff in the new apartment. So that took a while, but finally I think I'm ready to get back into stuff, making new videos. Another problem that I had was the hot weather. So this past summer has been one of the hottest summers that Europe has ever experienced in history. And for pretty much all of July and August, it was so hot outside. It was like constantly 35 degrees outside. which is too hot for me to actually make videos with my computer because I just have a laptop, and my laptop doesn't have very good cooling. It tends to overheat pretty readily if you're doing stuff, and especially if in temperatures like that. You know, when it's 35 degrees outside, my laptop overheats very quickly, even when I'm just doing basic web browsing, so I wasn't able to do processor-intensive things like filming videos and things like that. But now that the weather has finally cooled down, hopefully I'm able to start making more videos again when I have time, because I am working full-time as well, so of course I have some time constraints, but anyway. So I come back again, as I often do, to the decision of what game to next make a video of. And it's always, it's a difficult decision to make. People say, and I've said as well in the past, that you should just play games that you enjoy, which of course is a very simple answer, but, I want to make games that I would want to show off to other people. And a lot of people have said to me in the past, in the comments on my videos, don't worry too much about what games you play, because we like to watch the videos for you. People say that they like my voice or my style or whatever, and so they're more interested in just watching me play a game rather than seeing a specific game. That's very nice of people to say. I'm very flattered and very appreciative that people say such nice things and that people like watching me play games. I mean, it is very, very gratifying, and I am very grateful that I have such nice viewers and subscribers. So I think I've said in the past, I'm certainly not complaining about the subscribers that I have. But for me personally, what I usually want to do is highlight games that are not very well known. So I try to kind of, choose more obscure games that people are not likely to have seen. That's kind of one of my goals with my channel, with my YouTube channel, is to show off games that people are not likely to have seen before. The problem with doing that, of course, is I am well aware that most people watch my channel for the opposite reason, for nostalgia. They want to see exactly what they have already seen before. People want to see the games that they grew up with as children, and people don't really want to see something new that they have not seen before. This is kind of, I know I'm pretty sure that that's the reason why most people watch my videos, because they played Sierra Adventures or some other games that I played when they were children, and so it's just kind of like a nostalgia thing for them, and they're like, oh hey, this guy's playing that game. I remember that game. I want to see somebody play that game and enjoy the trip down memory lane. So there's a balance. There's a balance that I have to sort of exact between playing well-known games that people want to see, that people remember from long ago, and playing obscure games that people have never played, but which I'd kind of want to introduce a little bit more to the world. So, oh, I died early because I wasn't paying attention. So, it's a balance. It's a balance between the obscure and the familiar. And maybe I take it too seriously. I know that some people probably just say, don't deliberate so much over what game you're going to play. Just play a game. Just have some fun. Just pick a game and play it and enjoy it, and don't be so serious about it. But I do want to play games that people would want to watch. I don't just want to play games that I enjoy, because I enjoy a lot of games that are not fun to, first of all, are not much fun to watch, and probably are not even much fun to play. I mean, I treat games are for me kind of almost like a serious study. You know how some people, if you're studying filmmaking, for example, you can't just watch good movies. You have to watch bad movies as well, because you have to understand the techniques and the ideas and the things to avoid, not just what to do, but also what not to do. So serious filmmakers will watch a lot of terrible movies as well to see what went wrong. And for me, I take computer games seriously enough that I actually play a lot of games that are not fun at all, just to see what they're like. So in that way, it's almost like a serious, a serious study discipline for me. But I don't want to put those games on YouTube most of the time, because if they're not fun to play, they're certainly not fun to watch. And then there are a lot of games which are fun to play, but not fun to watch someone else play. So I do, in my spare time, play games that I enjoy and that I want to play. But when I make videos, I do want to make videos that people will enjoy watching. So, anyway, so yeah, trying to think of good games that most of you folks have probably not seen or heard of before, but would still be good to make videos of. Somebody said a while ago, I remember in some previous video of mine, somebody posted a comment that said something like, the more obscure the better, and they wanted to encourage me to really pick kind of obscure games that no one's ever heard of. And I don't want to be too hipster about it. I don't want to be too alternative and out there with my games. I'm not like, hey man, I liked Frog Hunt before it was cool. I'm not. I'm not trying to alienate people, because I think that's what happens a lot. If you deliberately try to pick the most bizarre, obscure, out there stuff, then people just get turned off, and people are like, "What the heck is this?" So I don't want to be too extreme, but I do want to pick things that are fun but still not well known. I think that's kind of the right balance. Games that people have not seen, but that still have something to them. Like this game is a great example. I mean, this game, it's not a great game. It's certainly not a AAA game. It certainly doesn't have 5 trillion-bit Gouraud shading with lens flares and 50 bajillion megabytes of video memory or whatever. I'm being deliberately facetious, obviously, with my terminology, but, the graphics and actually everything else about the game are nothing fancy, but I'm enjoying just watching all these elephants flying around, and it's kind of cool. And yeah, they say that the game is broken, and I guess it is, but I'm having fun. I mean, I'm enjoying this experience. I'm probably enjoying it more than I would have enjoyed a lot of so-called AAA game titles that you could probably find on the shelf if you went to your local game store. So, there's a book that I read some time ago, a few years ago, called 21st Century Game Design. And I actually found that book very offensive because it tries to be a template for what games should be. It basically says things like, if there's something that your players need to understand, then you should make it very clear to them. So, don't leave your players in the dark. Don't leave anything to misunderstanding. Make sure that they're very clear on everything that's happening and everything that they need to do. And I mean, that's not the only point in the book. There are other points in the book as well. But I just remember reading that and thinking, are you serious? You're saying that everything has to be explained, so there's no possibility of leaving some air of mystery or of letting players discover things for themselves. You just have to explain everything to them. And I just at the time, I kind of dismissed it and just said, hey, okay, that's just some guy's opinion that he wrote in a book. I mean, big deal, whatever. But I'm realizing that is sort of becoming a template for the games industry today, because, games always have to have a tutorial. There always has to be a tutorial that tells you what to do and how to play the game, in case you've never played a game before in your life and you're not sure how to move around. Kind of like, I'm reminded of those of you who have played Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon. I think it was that game that had that parody of tutorials at the beginning where they were like, look around to look around, press space to jump. And it just kept going on and on, teaching you the most basic, absurdly simple mechanics of the game. And it was pretty funny. I actually thought it was quite amusing. It was a nice parody of how games today try to tell you how to do everything, how to pick your nose, how to go to the bathroom, how to do everything within the game right up front. And so there's no element of figuring stuff out. There's no, exploration. You just feel like everything is handed to you. I think it sort of speaks to the idea that games are something to sell, which is an idea that upsets me a lot. There's this idea that people still sort of seem to have today that movies are art, books are art, music is art, but video games, can't be art. They're just something to sell. So just make a template for how to make a game. Just sort of establish an idea. This is how you make a game, and you have to adhere to this design mentality and style when making a game. And games are just something to sell for profit. And yeah, the industry is really going that way. It really seems like a lot of games that are coming out are just trying to make themselves in a certain mold. They're basically just casting themselves in the light of things that have been made in the past, and they're just kind of copying previous designs, and there's not only is there not much innovation, but innovation is seen as a bad thing because it's risky. And I guess this is also something that you find, of course, in other industries. Like movies often do the same thing. There are a lot of movies which don't do anything different. They just recycle the same old formula because they just want to make money. They just want to be the next Hollywood blockbuster. But in games, it seems to be particularly prevalent. It seems to be particularly difficult to find games that are really trying to do something different, because if you play a lot of games, as I do, you see the same patterns repeated over and over. They're the same gameplay mechanics, the same game designs, just repeated ad infinitum. And often games have one idea. They have like one clever idea, and they try to stretch out that one idea for the entire game, and it just doesn't work. So I like games that are not afraid to defy rules, because often you end up with something like Frog Hunt, which, it's not a game that I would spend hours and hours playing. It's probably not a game that I would spend much money on, but it's amusing enough that I've actually run it a few times just to watch these blue elephants bouncing around. Again, using films as an analogy, I recently saw the movie The Room. I'm not sure how many of you folks have seen The Room, but it's a great movie because it's such a terrible movie. It's famous for being so bad it's good. And I mean, really, it is a terrible movie. But I have the feeling that it's deliberately bad, even though people deny it, even though people like the cast and the director of the movie deny that it's deliberately bad. I have the feeling that it's sort of cleverly made to be so audaciously bad that people laugh at it, because it really is wonderfully terrible. The acting, the camera work, the scripting, the plot, everything is just so amateurish, I don't even know how to describe it. If you've seen the movie, then of course you know what I'm talking about. If not, you should. I would actually recommend the movie just because it's so much fun to watch. It's so bad that it's actually very enjoyable to watch. And the thing about that movie is, a lot of people liked it because it does everything wrong. The camera work is all wrong. The scripting is all wrong. The acting is all wrong. The casting and the directing is all wrong. And it's so wrong that it actually ends up pretty good because it's something so different. And that's in stark contrast to a lot of movies that, follow a list of established rules of what you're supposed to do in a movie. And that's why all those movies end up looking the same. They don't really feel very different from each other because it's all just, hey, I've already seen this movie before, just with different actors and a different title. So, anyway. So that's me being all hipster and alternative and indie with my games, and trying to do something different with the games that I play and the games that I show off on my YouTube channel. And yeah, that's something that I want to do. But again, I'm aware that most people watch my videos for nostalgia because they want to see what they know. And I don't want to alienate my viewers, and that's why I deliberate over this so much, because I don't want to drive away 90% of my viewers. I'm very flattered again that some people say that they really like me and they would watch me play almost any game, but I think that those people are not the majority. They probably don't speak for the majority. I think that the majority of people just want to see something simple and familiar and fun. So I'm going to try to pick out some games that can sort of fit that formula or that set of criteria, as vague as it is. I do have some plans in the near future to play some AGI games because I think those sort of combine the best of both worlds. AGI, of course, being Sierra's adventure game interpreter, the game engine that was used to make Sierra's original adventure games, like the first 3 King's Quests, the first 2 Space Quests, the first Police Quest, the first Leader Suit Larry, etc. And of course, Sierra made several such adventures, but there are also a lot of fan-made games which are made using AGI, so, you know, completely independent, usually made by just one person games that are based on the AGI engine. And I thought that those games would be really nice to show off because most of you folks probably haven't seen a lot of those games, and yet they still sort of feel familiar. They still sort of feel like the Sierra adventures that we remember and love because they use the same engine and a lot of them have the same sort of graphical style and gameplay style. I've actually played already a couple of them on my channel. I mean, some years ago I played Corby's Murder Mystery, and more recently I played the demo of Jen's Quest. So, and I got good responses to those videos. I think that those videos were a lot of fun, actually. I really enjoyed playing both of those games. So I think that that might be a good direction to take things. And I probably might play some of the more familiar Sierra adventures as well. I mean, Space Quest is an obvious choice. Obviously, it would make sense for me to play Space Quest at some point, so maybe I'll do that. But anyway, as usual, I've gone on too long without really saying anything, and I don't want to ramble on and on for an hour like I often do, so I'll go ahead and stop here. Basically, I just wanted to apologize to everyone for taking so long, for not making any videos for a while, and for being so very, very extremely picky about what games I play, even though it's kind of hypocritical of me because I know I've said in the past that you shouldn't worry too much about that if you're a Let's Player, you shouldn't deliberate for too long about what games you play, so yeah, and I'm kind of not following my own advice very well there. But anyway, thanks for watching, everyone, if you actually did watch this far. I hope that there are many more videos to come. I hope that there are going to be more interesting videos in the future and that you folks will enjoy them. So, thanks for sticking with me, folks. Thank you for not only watching this video, but for being with me over all the many years. I can't believe I've already been operating this channel for something like, 7 years now, I think, or something like that. It's crazy. It's hard for me to imagine. 7 or 8 years, I think, yeah, so thanks for being with me, folks, and hopefully we have more good times ahead. I will sign out for now, and hopefully I'll talk to you folks later.